Welcome to the Week 3 interactive lecture. Different types of essay. In this module, you will learn different types of essays. Click the sticky notes below to learn more. Process analysis. A process analysis essay explains step by step the process in which something happens. No step can be left out, or the reader will not be able to accomplish the task. So in a process essay, it's how to make chocolate chip cookies, how to get rich, how to lose weight, any kind of process. And so then your thesis statement would be, to get rich, you need to, step 1, step 2, step 3. So that describes a process. A narrative essay uses a sequence of events or stories to make a point. We typically use narration when we want the readers to learn something by experiencing a sequence of events from your life. A description essay is when you describe someone or something. You will give your reader a picture in words. Description presents information in a way that appeals to one or more of the 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Descriptive essay. Her beautiful eyes sparkled like diamonds in the dark. Compare and contrast essay. We use compare and contrast essay to provide an in-depth analysis that explores the similarities and or differences between two things. So you can write the advantages or disadvantages of living in New York or LA, or New York or Orlando. We use a cause and effect essay to show one or more things leads to another or many other things. Causes are the reasons that an event happens, and effects are the things that happen because of the event. And so when we write a cause and effect essay, then you would write the causes of World War II was cause 1, cause 2, cause 3. That would be one essay. Then in another essay, you would write the effects of World War II was effect 1, effect 2, and effect 3. A persuasive essay. In writing a persuasive essay, you will use argumentation when you are trying to convince the reader that your point of view is correct, or when you want them to take an action. Should plastic bags be banned in grocery stores? So that's an example of a persuasive essay. So your essay 1 is going to be the narrative essay. I think I'm beginning to understand the whole idea of academic writing and how it can help me with my resume. It's the process behind it all. Are there any other types of writing, and do they have different characteristics? Writing types are similar to genre. A genre can be poetry, or it can be business writing or other types of writing, and each one has specific characteristics. Academic writing is a writing genre. Academic essays in particular have different characteristics or conventions that they contain. For instance, narrative writing contains a plot, whereas many poems contain rhyme. Going back to Kim's essay, it looks like she might be using the cause and effect mode in her essay. This mode will be discussed in the next lesson. Knowing the genre you are writing in helps you determine the process you will follow as you write. Click the sticky notes below for examples of genre and essay modes. Convention example. The conventions of an essay are determined by the genre. Examples of convention. A narrative essay contains a plot. Poems contain rhyme. A persuasive essay includes an argument and many facts. The descriptive essay can contain a written account of an experience. A process analysis contains step by step how to achieve an end result. Genre example. Genre is a mode of communication or discourse. Examples of genre include cause and effect, compare and contrast, narrative, persuasive and process analysis. Okay, I figured out my topic last week and came up with some cool ideas. Now what? Oh, I jumped too far ahead with my writing last week. I need to practice each step of the writing process, like Instructor Smith said. Your next step is to determine your purpose for writing about your topic, known as author purpose. Author's purpose is crucial to defining the type of writing and approach that will be taken, as well as to determining the thesis statement for the essay. Do you remember Kim's pre-write? Click the image to see the changes she incorporated from Professor Smith's feedback. So here, Kim wrote about dogs. Dogs can make you have less stress. And so here in this image, she incorporated or included the teacher's feedback in order for her to have a better essay. Kim decides to focus on dogs and how they can lessen a person's stress. I was having a hard time narrowing down my topic, but you gave me a great idea. I submitted my revision to make sure I've got the right idea. I'm glad I was helpful. I look forward to learning more about how a pet can improve a person's health. Types of methods of writing, also known as rhetorical strategies, directly impact the style of essay. This week, Instructor Smith focuses on explaining how a narrative essay or a story can help Kim and Tom move on to the next step in the writing process. I don't necessarily want my audience to take action, but that could be a result of what I tell them. What I really want is to help them understand how having a dog helps decrease stress levels. I can do this by providing information, maybe, and even sharing a true story. Click the sticky notes below to learn more. Are you writing to inform, to persuade, or to entertain? And the different ways, the different purposes of writing, the three main purposes of expository writing is to write to inform. In other words, you're telling people information about an important topic. Are you writing to persuade? In other words, are you arguing a topic and you want to convince the reader your point of view? Are you writing to entertain? Are you trying to get everybody to laugh along with your topic? Or are you writing a satire? And so each of these different purposes will require different kinds of genre and different rhetorical strategies. If I'm writing to inform, then I would probably be doing either process analysis, in other words, telling somebody step by step how to do something, or I would use cause and effect, because then I would tell causes and the effect of something. If I'm writing to persuade, then I would use the persuasive or argumentative topic, essay genre. And writing to entertain would be satire. So let's take a look. Writing to inform means that all I am doing is providing my readers information, kind of like what a reporter does. So when I write my essay on dogs reducing stress, I won't include my opinion. Instead, I'm just going to include facts. So you should really own a dog because they are so cuddly will become dogs help to reduce their owner's stress. Write to persuade. Writing to persuade means I wouldn't just provide information, but I would include a sort of call to action. That might mean that I would find research on how dogs improve stress levels, and then I would tell the readers they need to go and get a dog, or tell my readers that if they hated dogs before, then they should change their opinions because their dogs reduce stress. And so one of the characteristics of a persuasive essay is it does call to action, have the reader do something. So when you have business communications. There's a lot of persuasive writing in business communications because the company wants, or the business wants, the reader to buy their product. Or if there's a social injustice, then the writer wants the reader to go out and protest against that social injustice. Or the writer wants the reader to help solve the problem of whatever's going on in society. So when we write to persuade, we are doing a call to action of some kind. Writing to entertain means that I might turn the information on dogs reducing stress into a catchy story, or maybe a comic strip, or even a poem. It could mean that I could not need any true information to tell the story. Maybe the story might make my readers cry, or maybe the story might make my readers laugh. So writing to entertain is more like in fictional writing and creative writing. And creative writing and academic writing are two different genres. And so writing to entertain is a different genre and doesn't necessarily have to have true facts. But you could use humor in a fact-filled slightly. But that takes someone with advanced writing skills to use humor properly. Purpose of academic writing. I think I've got it. I think I will include some information on the effect that petting a dog has on humans. Consider this reminder. Keep in mind that academic writing often has to do with persuasion or argumentation. When students write essays about topics like global warming, they need to prove to the reader the urgency or importance of the topic. What is a thesis statement? Basically, a thesis statement introduces the topic and gives an overview of the supporting details. The thesis statement sets the stage for the story in my introduction. I can then build that story in the body of the paragraph with more paragraphs that detail the subtopics. Once I'm done, then I can conclude the story by reminding the audience what the story was all about. So let's click on the sticky notes. So when we write an essay, we have an introduction paragraph. And in the introduction paragraph, there are three parts to your introduction paragraph. You have the hook, is the first sentence that grabs the reader's attention. You have the bridge. Bridge gives context to your thesis statement. And then the last sentence of your thesis statement the last sentence of your introduction is your thesis statement. An introductory paragraph can then be represented like a flipped triangle. That's called a funnel introduction paragraph. First, you create a catchy sentence in the hook to draw your reader into the story. The introductory paragraph ends with your thesis statement. Notice that the point of the triangle represents the main point of your essay, the thesis. So that's why I highly encourage my students to Google funnel introduction paragraph. So your thesis statement is the main idea of your entire essay, written in one sentence as the last sentence of the first paragraph. So think of your thesis in this way. If you had to tell a friend who did not know anything about your essay in only one single sentence about your topic, what would you say? Force yourself to condense your ideas and express everything in a concise and clear manner. And that is a thesis statement. Here is an example thesis statement. Topic: pet ownership. Okay, but what specifically is being stated or proven about pet ownership? Thesis statement, or main point. Dog owners gain more from their dogs than slobbery kisses because owning a dog can actually reduce your stress. So that is the main point of the essay. And that's known as a thesis statement. No way. You mean my dog can keep me from having a heart attack? How is that? So I guess my thesis statement worked, huh? Do you see how Kim's thesis has made Tom want to know more? Kim's next step will be the body of her paragraph, body of her essay, where she provides proof for Tom that dogs reduce stress. Once you have your topic, then you can establish your purpose for that topic. When you have decided on the purpose, you can then create your main point or thesis. Notice how all of these elements work together to develop a well-developed, cohesive essay. Kim did a pretty good job of incorporating my feedback and into her assignment. This is your introduction paragraph. So here you start out with a hook, very general hook. Have you ever parachuted out of a plane? Have you ever owned a dog? And then at so that's the most general. And then as you go write your introduction, you become more and more and more. So in the middle here, is a bridge where you set up the context of your thesis statement as to why dogs reduce stress. Then at the very bottom here, you're telling everybody dogs reduce stress because reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And so your thesis statement is the most specific sentence in the introduction. And so your introduction is like an upside down triangle in which you start out with a very general statement, your hook, then you become more and more and more specific until you reach your thesis statement. And so your thesis statement is the last sentence that wraps up your introduction paragraph. Using description. When you describe someone or something, you will give your reader a picture in words. So that's what we're doing in the Week 3 forum when we play the food game. You're going to describe your food, your mystery food, and then based on your description, everybody has to guess what that food is. And you have to create a picture in the reader's mind. And in order to do that, description presents information in a way that appeals to one or more of the 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Example, her beautiful eyes sparkled like diamonds in the dark. When you develop an essay with emphasis on description, you need to consider purpose and audience. You need to visualize the subject. You need to include people and events in the description of a place. And you need to develop through pre-writing and develop through revising. And so in the Week 3 forum, you're going to use an appeal to all 5 senses in order to describe your mystery food so that people can guess what it is, what food you're describing. Description essay checklist. Unity. Does my essay have a clearly stated thesis, including a dominant impression? Does each paragraph and each sentence within that paragraph help to develop the description of my topic? Are there portions of the essay that do not support the thesis and therefore should be eliminated or rewritten? Support. Have I provided rich, specific details that appeal to a variety of senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch? Have I chosen dynamic and vibrant words to enhance my description? If you don't know a lot of English and you get stuck on what adjectives to use, you can always Google adjective words, and then you're going to get an entire dictionary. You can also use the thesaurus as well. Coherence. Do transitional words and phrases and linking sentences between paragraphs help make the description clear? Does my conclusion clearly tie up the essay? Sentence skills. Have I used a consistent point of view? Have I used specific words? Have I written in a concise manner? Do I have sentence variety? did I edit for sentence skills and grammar mistakes? Grammar concepts. I heard somebody should bring their own laptop to the I heard that when you say everybody should bring their laptop to the class, is that correct grammar? Good question. I hope we learn some more grammar in this class. The grammar concepts we cover will definitely help you improve your writing. Pronouns, words that take the place of nouns. For example, Bob left his wallet on the bus. His is a pronoun that takes the place of Bob's. Pronoun agreement. A pronoun must agree in number with the words or words it replaces. If the word refers to is singular, the pronoun must be singular. If that word is plural, the pronoun must be plural. So if I say, John and Mary go to the party, then I have to say they went to the party. If I say John went to the party, I would say he went to the party. So therefore, if I have a singular person, Bob, I would use he. If I have a plural person, Mary and Rob, then I would use they. And so your pronoun has to agree with the antecedent that it's replacing. Pronoun reference. A sentence may be confusing and unclear if a pronoun appears to refer to more than one word or does not refer to any specific word. Bob told Larry that today is his wife's birthday. Bob told Larry, today is my wife's birthday. And so that's why I tell students, if you have a lot of people in your sentence, you should use the subject. For instance, if I were to say, Jan and Mary, they both love to read books. She likes to read science fiction, and also she likes to read mystery. Who am I talking about when I say use she too many times? We know that one of them likes science fiction and the other one likes something else. And so when we write too many, we cannot write too many pronouns in a row, okay? Every other sentence, you have to name the person that you're talking about. So I would say Mary, blah, 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 she likes, blah, blah, blah. Harriet, blah, 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 likes, and then she likes. So Harriet, she, Jane, she, Mary, she. So every other sentence, you have to name what you're talking about, or otherwise people get lost and go, are you talking about Mary? No, she's talking about Sue. No, she's talking about that sort of thing. So that is a very common mistake, because in other languages, people can use a whole string of pronouns all in a row. You can't do that in English. Every other sentence, you have to name what you're talking about. Otherwise, everything becomes too vague. So this is the end of your Week 3 interactive lecture. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.